皆さんこんにちは. Hello, I'm Taku from Tokyo. Welcome to my video. Today I'd like to talk about punctuality in Japan. If you have experience making appointments and meeting with Japanese people, you possibly wondered why Japanese people came to appointed place so early. Yes, we Japanese people always are on time for appointments, meetings, and starting something with other Japanese. To get along with Japanese friends well, not make a first negative impression to your Japanese customer, business partner, or have a successful business relationship with them, you should know how Japanese people think about and behave for being on time for appointments. In this video, I'd like to share the following matters. A. We Japanese are so punctual. B. When meeting with your friend or boyfriend, girlfriend. C. Meeting in a Japanese company. D. A job interview or meeting your customer. E. Since when did Japanese start to be punctual? After watching it, hopefully you get to know Japanese people's punctual thoughts and deal with your friends or business partners well. Before moving on to the topic, let me introduce myself. I'm Taku from Tokyo, Japan, born and raised here. I have working experience in Japanese companies for almost 10 years, so I understand Japanese people's work practice. Okay, move on to the topic. We Japanese are punctual. We Japanese people are always punctual when meeting with our friends, boyfriend, girlfriend, and business partners, and when we are late even 2 or 3 minutes, there is the possibility we lose credibility from them. Let me pick the example of trains in Japan. Japanese trains timetable are set by a minute, such as 7:43, 7:47, and 7:51 in the morning, and always each train comes at those exact times. If more than 2 or 3 minutes are late, the train company makes an announcement of apology for the delay to passengers. It seems really strange if you are not Japanese, but the phenomenon is part of our Japanese society actually. When meeting with your Japanese friend or boyfriend, girlfriend, when meeting with your Japanese friend or lover, it is highly recommended to arrive to the exact appointed place 1 or 2 minutes before the appointment time. If you need to delay for more than 2 minutes, you should send a text to him or her and tell how much you delay and the reason and apologize lightly. ごめんね, a punctual, colloquial way of saying sorry. If you delay the appointment even 2 or 3 minutes without advance notice, we Japanese people think we are regarded as a less important person and our feelings are kind of hurt, or you are thought to be careless person. There is even possibility you get dumped by your boyfriend or girlfriend because of that. If you are a foreigner to Japanese people, you possibly won't be pointed out much for the delay, but if you often get along with Japanese people, you should possibly understand the Japanese people's way of thought. Meeting in a Japanese company. If you belong to a Japanese company or a Japanese-based company, you may be required to be punctual to any kind of appointment if your supervisor or senior is Japanese. Otherwise, you could be blamed or your value in your company could fall. Especially if you are a new employee, you possibly should be in the meeting room much earlier than the actual meeting time. When I first entered a Japanese company after graduation from a university, I was taught by my senior to be in the meeting room 5 minutes before the actual meeting started. And if I need to prepare documents or set a video call, I need to be there 10 minutes before it starts. Then we could start meeting at the appointment time precisely. If you really need to be delayed even 1 minute, you must inform delaying time and reason to your supervisor or senior in advance, and sometimes need to apologize depending on the situation. A job interview or meeting with your customer. If you have a job interview in a company in Japan or Japanese-based company, or have a meeting with your Japanese customer, you need to be extremely careful about an appointment time. Interview. You really make a negative impression if you delay an interview in Japan without advance notice and apology, and there is no second chance even if you are actually competent for the applying job. Delaying in the interview are totally make the worst first impressions. When I had a job interview in Japan, I was sometimes at the company's gate 15 or 30 minutes before and waited at the entrance till the appointment time. I was scared of the possibility of transportation delays at that time. If you really need to delay because, for instance, the last appointment lasted longer than planned, you need to inform immediately to the person in charge of the interviewing company and apologize. Also, if when you meet the person at the place of the interview, you firstly need to apologize for the delay again when meeting that person. I actually did the exact same behavior there during my interview, and I actually made a good impression to them and I passed it in the end. So if you seriously, sincerely, appropriately inform and apologize for the delay, you possibly make a good impression instead. Meeting with your customer. The situation is the same when meeting with the customer. You possibly cannot receive a new order from them if you delay a meeting without advance notice, because delaying itself makes you lose credibility from your customer. Customer's way of thinking is that if you delay the appointment, your way of dealing with your job is thought to be terrible and avoid giving new jobs to you. Thus, you must 100% pay attention to appointment time if you have a job interview or meeting with your customer in Japan. Since when did Japanese people start to be punctual? Japanese people started to be punctual since the Meiji government promoted the modernization of Japan, making infrastructure such as Japanese army, schools, factories, and trains. At that time, the concept of time was introduced by Western society. To chase Western countries and increase national power, the government at that time kind of forced Japanese people to be punctual to go to school, work, at factory. Especially punctuality of train was kind of mandatory at that time to avoid any accidents of train, because there was the possibility of train collisions if it wasn't punctual, since there was limited communication tool among trains. Entry to the station was until 15 minutes before departure, and the train door was closed 5 minutes before departure, and then the train system was managed on time. Surprisingly, the culture of 100 years ago, punctuality continues until today. Conclusion. In this video, I introduced punctuality in Japanese society and hope you understand Japanese people's tendency. I further hope that you will have a successful relationship with Japanese people by being on time for any appointments with them and inform them you are late and apologize in case of delay. Thank you for watching this video till the end. See you next time.